I don't want to get too far to where you're just a number on the screen for me. Um, but there does have to be a separation. I will do as much as I can, at any given moment to give back to those that watch me. But I am just putting out content, just as your um, favorite rapper is putting out music for you to listen to. What is good, my podcast people, man? Welcome back to another episode of Cam Chronicles. Man, I know you've seen in the title or by the thumbnail that we don't have a guest this week, man. I was trying to get you a guest this week, but it'll definitely happen next week. We got two good guests that will be secured for this month. So definitely be tuning in for that. I know you guys like the guest podcast a little bit better, but those that be watching the full episodes with just me, they know that I be dropping bangers. So I appreciate y'all that be watching the full episodes where it's just me showing that support, and then hopefully getting some value out of the conversation I'm having with the screen, but with you guys. But yeah, for the little, trying to formulate the podcast a little bit, we got our life recap coming up, man. Things have just been kind of, I would say, smooth this week. Work was good. I wasn't able to get a lot done in terms of the YouTube side, kind of just figuring things out, behind the scenes, creating new channels, thinking of video ideas, kind of planning out the shots and planning videos. A lot of planning going on, and I know that has been it's tough because that process can take way longer than the audience would like, and also than I would like. I don't like to be planning for this long. Even my videos that I said I wanted to come out with, I don't like to be planning for that long, or waiting to release those videos either. But I know that the planning will eventually pay off. So hopefully, getting things copyrighted in terms of my name, so nobody can steal my KX name. All the kind of legal stuff, getting my redesigns for KX channel and the Cam Chronicle channel. I think that's the first time I kind of announced that will be a redesign of KX at 1,000 subs, and we'll be heavy pushing that here in the next couple of months here before I go back to school. But yeah, things have been slow, but they've been progressing. It is slow progress, and yeah, it's sometimes hard to enjoy that, but I get it's just kind of the groundwork I got to do to build up what I want to build, which is this brand of Camp Chronicles. But yeah, was there anything else that was I went to go see a movie this week. It's the first time I've been in theaters since before COVID hit. I actually went to go see a movie during the week that COVID was basically really impacting the US. And I was like, it's cool, I'll be straight. And I went to see, I don't know what it was, but the movie looked good, and like the first 30 minutes was like amazing. And then the rest of the movie was just horrible. So it was a disappointing experience. So the last time I was in the theater, it wasn't great, but I went to go see The Quiet Place 2, which was really, really good. I would recommend it if you've seen the first one. If you haven't seen the first one, definitely go watch it. It isn't a fully quiet movie. I know, I was kind of skeptical on watching The Quiet Place, the original one. I didn't probably watch it till like a year or two after it came out, or maybe a year after it came out, but because I thought it was just going to be a silent film. And while I have, watched some silent films that are pretty good, such as Hush, if you guys haven't seen Hush, that's really good. You want to look that up. I think it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore, but yeah, I was interested in Quiet Place 1, saw that, thought it was pretty good. Quiet Place 2, the director, which is the dad in the actual movie, is the person that plays the dad in the actual movie. He was also the director, and he was saying that he didn't want to release the movie until people could see it on the big screen. So it was supposed to come out in 2020. He didn't release it till May 2021. So that's cool, and I thought it was definitely a good experience on the big screen. It's you kind of forget that aspect when you're watching movies from home. So that was cool. And then I also did. I met up with Alex Archetype, Elite Archetype. Those that watch me probably know him, but if you don't, Definitely go follow him. I'll try to link him in the top right here, but he also does COD. You know, what am I trying to say? COD videos. He does Warzone videos, keybinds. Got you all the best keybinds um, for your PC. You know, he's not on controller. He doesn't mess with the controller. He's one of those that think we got too much aim assist. Nah, nah, nah. But yeah, we actually met up in person. I met him about a year ago on online. He came into my stream when I had um, a couple of uh, a couple of not a couple of subs, a couple of viewers, like probably two or three, and probably it was just me, yeah, watching on two or three devices. But yeah, he came in, met each other, and we've kind of just been in touch ever since. Helping each other grow on YouTube, and I think he just hit 2,000 subscribers. So definitely go check him out. But that was cool to get to see him in person and chop it up and just talk about YouTube and life, and it's cool meeting new people, networking in the YouTube community. Always a good thing. But That pretty much sums up the life recap. But we got something pretty big happening here in the next couple of hours. Really, I'm recording this on Sunday, man. It is the reason I don't have my lights on is because there's an internet outage. So I'm just recording this on my computer. Um, and I can't turn on my lights because they're like Wi-Fi or enabled or whatever, so I can't even turn the color. Like I could unplug them and plug them back in, but it would just be like white light, and I couldn't dim it, so it would be overpowering my face. So I'm just not gonna turn those on. But um, we have in a couple of hours here Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, man. I don't know if you guys have been following this fight. I don't know if you care about this fight. I definitely do, just in terms of the entertainment spectacle. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I want to see Logan win. Is there a chance for him to win? I think there's a very small chance. I get who Floyd is. This man's 50-0. While I've never seen Floyd actually box live, I've always seen. I mean, I can't say I've always seen. I've just seen a couple of his fights. A couple of clips. And obviously, I know he's very good. Um, and this man has knocked out pretty much everybody. So, you know, obviously, Logan has been training for 3 to 4 years. He's definitely gotten better since the last time he boxed, of course. He's been taking this seriously. He feels that it's the biggest opportunity that he'll ever get in his lifetime, which it might be, which is that's good for him. And he's trying to take advantage of it. And I just give him props for getting there, and also just kind of putting YouTube on the map. I think it does wonders for YouTube as well. So that's always good to see, because you're bringing in that audience and also getting a bigger audience that just want to see Mayweather fight, and they also kind of see the Logan Paul and YouTube side, and may convert some people that actually watch YouTube. So that's always good. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Definitely going to be linking up with some people to go watch that fight, and yeah, hopefully, for a good outcome, man. If Logan Paul wins this thing, it's gonna break the internet for the next month entirely. And yeah, it's gonna be tough for Floyd, but I also do want to see Floyd win, just to defend. Like, I know it doesn't count on his record, it's an exhibition fight and all that, but yeah, people aren't gonna let him live it down if this ever happens. And he's definitely gonna have to fight Jake Paul either way. This fight goes. If he beats Logan Paul, he wants to beat up Jake Paul because of the got your hat situation. Um, and if he loses to Logan Paul, he's definitely got to go back and beat Jake Paul um, to make sure that his reputation is a little bit redeemed. But yeah, yeah. That's gonna be an interesting fight. Been waiting for that for quite some time now. So hopefully there'll be a good fight. It will be a little bit longer than Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, and hopefully we get a good result. I just want a good fight, no matter who wins. So I can my $50 would be worth it. But I know I was talking about Netflix earlier, and I actually saw this one comedy special on Netflix. It was by Bo Burnham, and I guess he was a comedian early on in around 2013, 2014, 2015 days, and he was doing, he kind of makes music as well. And he was performing live for quite a little while, until like 2015, and then he stopped. Um, then he stopped performing. And you'll get to kind of see, if you do want to watch the film, you'll get to kind of see why he stopped doing that. But he basically stopped filming, and then he came back in 2021. Um, and this comedy special, I think it. I felt the need to bring it on the podcast to kind of share, just because I thought it was something that was really key to um, talking about mental health in the quarantine. I know we just recently had a podcast on mental health, and if you're interested in that, I think it would be pretty cool. It is kind of funny. It just gives you all kind of like a fun, playful perspective on serious issues that kind of happened within the last year. That I almost kind of, it's not that I forget about it, it's just the fact that I forget that all of this happened in the last year. It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around it. You think it's like, oh, yeah, that was 3, 4 years ago. Um, or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, definitely go check it out. The music is actually really good. It's a comedy special, but like I was saying, he's a musician. So like most of, like pretty much, I would say 60% of the actual special is him like singing the comedy. Like it's the song is funny, but I think the song sounds pretty good as well. So definitely go check out the trailer if you're interested, and watch the first few minutes. Even if you're not interested in the trailer, I think it could be something that you might be interested in. If not, you know, just a suggestion. But I was listening to a podcast as always. As always, that will be a catchphrase. But I was listening to a podcast, and these people were, I can't remember which podcast is on. I listened to too many, but they were talking about how what would you introduce yourself as? Like being in this social media space, what would you introduce yourself as if you didn't have to explain YouTube to people? Like if I go to my aunt, that's 80 years old, I say, well, yeah, my job's a YouTuber, she's not gonna understand what that means, So I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I do stuff on the internet, I make videos, I'm a videographer, and I create, Um, I'm going to add some more technical terms, but basically they were just talking about how would you classify yourself in this social media realm as a content creator. Like what would you tell people as your title? As someone that's like a software engineer would be like, yeah, I'm a tech support analyst of the highest degree or whatever. What would you name yourself? And they were saying that it's funny how we have to go by different names. Like content creator has kind of become a more acceptable term, and has become the umbrella term of like YouTube and TikTok and all things like that, which is deemed a little bit more professional than YouTuber. But I just thought it was interesting that it's something that we always are thinking about. If you are in this space, how do you explain what you're trying to do to other people, because they don't really see it as a real job. And I that kind of keys into, I didn't even put this point down. This is going to be a pretty short podcast here, but I I was watching this guy. I mentioned him before, Sneeko, and he was talking about. Oh man, I kind of just lost my point. Oh, buddy, introduce yourself. His new title. Oh my goodness, how did I just lose that thought right there? Oh. Got it. All right. Thought it escaped me there. But this guy Sneeko, I'll link him. I'll try to link him in the top right as always. But I was watching one of his videos. He was talking about how there is in the age of the internet, and especially in the 20s, there is such a diverse set of um, for lack of a better word, things. I literally just can't think of words today. Things on the internet that can allow you avenues. That's what I was looking for. Avenues on the internet to be able to make money from, and to be able to share your unique skill that can't necessarily be measured by a degree, or can't necessarily be measured by without previous work that you've done, or by a person just looking at you or knowing what you're about. And using those skills to make money online. And I think that I was talking also to a friend that I believe that by the year 2030, this will be a pretty solid job. Making money on the internet will be a very a very adopted thing, and a very normal thing, within society. It won't be. I don't think it's looked down upon. It's just kind of mystified by a lot of people. Like, how are you really getting money? Like, you're just putting this stuff out here, and they're just sending you a check. It's kind of mysterious to some people, and I can get it. If you're not in the sphere of social media or things at all, but. I just thought that that was a very good take on the fact that there's more opportunity now, or just maybe you can just say different opportunity now, than there was before, and that there is room for people to become financially independent online, and there's room for a lot of people to do it. No matter if we think it's so saturated, there are so many avenues of um, uh, sources of income on the internet that there's room for just a lot of people to fit in and kind of do their own thing. And also have a competing market, of people that do the same thing but have different specialties. So I think that was just a good point made by him. And then I also was thinking about this when I was thinking about, you know, how do we kind of introduce ourselves and how will we introduce ourselves in the future? Will everybody be a content creator? Will you be, you'll be a freelancer specifically for whatever you do? I think my mom was showing me something about how this woman has a business making picnics, like luxury picnics for people. Maybe they want to go, have a honeymoon, special picnic or something like that, anniversary, wedding proposal. I don't know. And yeah, basically she just does these luxury picnics. She has her own online business, and she just created, and she's making great profit, and it's really just her and a couple of employees, and that's kind of the way of the world. You're not gonna be buying. There will be obviously your big corporations, but you will be buying from kind of people that can specialize in exactly what you want, and you don't have to kind of go through a big company because it's easier to just go through your uncle for something that is going to be reliable, or whatever it is. And you can tell him exactly what you want, and he's not going to, overcharge you for something, and you can trust him. Not like a company. Obviously, some companies have good customer service, but it's a lot harder to get access to them than it is the people that you have in your own social circle. So that's an interesting perspective. I think that education is going that way as well. I will touch on it here. I won't go in depth on it here because I haven't done enough research to really talk about it like I know it. But I think that education will go that way in terms of people learning directly from under other people. If you think about back in the olden times or whatever you want to say, apprenticeship was huge. And that's kind of how you learned to do whatever you were trying to do. You wanted to be a blacksmith, you were apprentice to a blacksmith. And I think that will become something that is the norm online. People will have courses. You already see it all over. You skill share courses, other paid courses. And I'm not talking about the courses that cost thousands of dollars on how to get rich, fast. I'm talking about the courses that are actually teaching you a certain skill. And I think those will become the new college. But that it's a far fetched idea. But I think within the 10 to 20, might take 30, but within the next 30 years, we'll see that shift. And I think that the college education will become devalued. We will see the decline of the college education in terms of how highly we hold that of somebody. And yeah, my views on education are a little. I don't think they're too far out there. I think Gen Z agrees that there needs to be education reform. I think a lot of people think there need to be education reform, as well as the justification for the price for college. Why is it so much as compared to when our grandparents were going to college or when our parents were going to college? Why is it so much, especially when there's no added value? When the education has not changed in the last 100 years. When we're still teaching the same curriculum that we were in 19, whatever you want to say. So, yeah, that's a short little take on it. But the last topic I want to talk about was something that I've seen coming up pretty recently. I thought it was just something interesting to cover, but it was on parasocial relationships. And so basically what a parasocial relationship is a person that is watching somebody else on the internet, as you are watching me right now, and developing a relationship with, that person, that figure that's online, um, beyond past the extent of just an entertainer, um, and becoming not necessarily in love or infatuated with, but um, thinking that in their mind, myself or the content creator are friends with them, because they know so much about the entertainer or content creator's life. And I think that has become a very interesting um, scene to navigate for a lot of content creators. And I've thought about, I've started to think about how I'm going to navigate that space as well. Excuse me while I get some water real quick. My mouth is still dry, man. I don't know. Hope my allergies go away soon. But anyway, excuse me. Um, Basically, a lot of content creators are talking about how they have fans that are just so obsessed, with them. And, even when they're coming in contact with these people in real life, they are acting as if they've known each other for 5 years, because that's how long they've been watching each other. That's how long they've been watching the content creator, and they feel that they know, all about their life, and they know all the ups and downs, and that just number one, you don't know all about that life. You don't really know that person, that content creator. But the bigger part is that I or the content creator doesn't know you. I don't know you personally, or the content creator does not know you personally. So when you have that relationship, that one way relationship, um, it can be can be, for lack of a better term, just weird, you know, and it's and tricky to navigate. And so I think that it is important to realize the distinction between relationships and and relationships online, and that these people are giving you content to entertain you. You shouldn't look at them more than an entertainer. You can definitely take, advice. You can definitely be inspired by them, as you are by your favorite entertainers, or by some of them anyway. But it just becomes a problem when you're relating a stronger bond between that person when you actually haven't met that person in real life, and developed a friendship with them, not just met them and had an autograph signed, or have talked to them for 2 seconds. So I that is a tough boundary for me, because on one hand, I am supreme or extremely supportive of the fact of acknowledging my subscribers and my followers, because I understand that when I am able to grow this to what I envision, I will be relying on other people watching my content, and other people enjoying the content that I create. Um, and I want to give back to those people as much as I can. You know, I obviously still need to make a living, but as much as I will make things as small as they can be in terms of prices, and things for content, and my YouTube content will always be free. So I do. I've always known that I needed and wanted to make a strong effort in making sure that I'm giving more to you as the content consumer, um, than you are giving me monetarily, um, or yeah, I guess it would just be monetarily. So that's one side of it, but then the other side of it is also to be wary of, people that might, number one, try to take advantage of you, um, because they know you so well, and because they exploit those things that they've seen through your content online. Um, but then number two, just um, making sure that people know that I care. I do care that you follow um, I do care that you follow my pages. I do care that you consume my content. My heart goes out to you. But it becomes a line where a human cannot possibly, um, care is not the right word, but let's see. I would say embrace. A human cannot embrace millions of people at once. It just cannot happen. And cannot delve into each person's story that watches his or her content. And as much as I'm sure all the content creators would like to do that, I mean, maybe not some content creators, but I definitely sure would. It's just impossible. And so, I don't want to get too far to where you're just a number on the screen for me. Um, but there does have to be a separation. I will do as much as I can, at any given moment to give back to those that watch me. But I am just putting out content, just as your um, favorite rapper is putting out music for you to listen to. You're not their homie. You're not their, you're not their friend. You're not their cousin. You just aren't that to them. But they still appreciate you. So I just thought that was something. Excuse me. I just thought that was something that was interesting to cover, and I don't know, maybe something that makes you kind of think a little bit. Um, but yeah, those are all the topics I have for today's podcast. I know it was a little bit of short. It's going to be around a 30-minute podcast here, but I don't know. Might be a little bit more, be able to stomach the me just talking for 30 minutes. Very concise topics today. You have to let me know if you like this style a little bit better. I can try to do that where it's kind of like topics that I just hit on. And then I can do more topics where I just hit on them for 2 to 3 minutes. But yeah, as you all know, as at the end of my podcast, I always got the Cam cheat code for you. And this episode is no different. So the Cam cheat code for this week, it was something that kind of came on my mind in my conversation with, Elite Archetype or Alex, however you know him as. But it's to make sure that you enjoy, that you step back and enjoy the journey of this social media process. Um, that has been such a big thing for me that I've been working on. And I'm still not there yet. I'm always honest with you all that um, I like to give you all advice that I'm learning as I go through this process. But I'm in no means all the way there, and being able to truly enjoy the process, and not be stressed out, about numbers and things like that. Um, so going into that more in depth, it can be easy to look at this being a YouTuber or being a content creator or doing something online as from a purely analytical point of view. And when you start to do that, things can become zeros and ones. Excuse me. But the zeros and ones weren't why you got into the it wasn't why you got into this career, this doing social media or making money online. Yes, I'm sure everybody would like to make money, but it like I've said in previous podcasts, it can be a driver, but it isn't the main goal. It's not what's going to make you happy overall. It's going to be that content that you actually put out that you feel proud of. So if you start putting out content just to get views, where you're hopping on trends that don't necessarily fit your personality, or what you actually want to do, and you make that your identity online, people will only know you and like you for that part that you show. And then you can kind of get down on yourself because you feel that you can't show your other sides of who you are as a person because this is the only thing working, and this is what's making you the money. And so you don't want to be, financially insecure by going or, trickling away from this content. So I think it's just always important to, number one, take a step back, enjoy the process of growing. You won't grow 0 to 1 million in one day. If you do, congrats. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying for the 99.999%, it just won't happen. But in that second piece of advice, just making content that you truly love, the reason, staying true to the reason that you really got into this space. And if that reason is purely money, um, I have to say I don't blame you. I have to say that I don't blame you, but I can tell you that I've learned over the past 4 years that it probably won't sustain you. So I hope you are successful very quickly and you make the money that you hope, very quickly. But I think that you will lose drive, um, pretty quickly if you don't see that growth. If your only um, motivator is money in this space, um, and you've seen that with a lot of different content creators, you just don't know. You just don't know that that was the case or that's why they stopped. So that is the Cam cheat code of the week, man. I hope you guys did enjoy the episode, man. I will be let me know your predictions for the fight in the comments below, and also leave a comment on anything I talked about. Let's have a conversation in the chat. I'd love to get that going. But I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody that watches these episodes, especially the ones where I'm by myself. It's not as entertaining as a guest. I get it. But yeah, I try to just talk to the people that really want to hear what I have to say on some different topics, and have found value of what I've said in the past and kind of come back to hear the progress of this journey. So, really appreciate you guys. As always, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.